Hello and welcome to Paramecia, a One Piece fancast where we review the latest chapter of One Piece and have a different One Piece related discussion every single week. My name is John.
My name is Franz.
And we're on break this week. Chapter 908 was last week. After dropping the giant bombshell on us from last week, Oda was like, yeah, you guys have to suffer for a whole week because I'm taking a break. So this week we decided to
look back on the suffering that he's imposed on us.
Yeah, basically. We decided to look back and we're just going to sort of have a discussion, little freeform discussion about our the top not saddest saddest moments in One Piece, like the moments in One Piece that really shot you through the heart, basically.
Top 10 moments I cried, YouTube video compilation 20 minutes long.
Yeah, parentheses not sexual. Yeah, it's gonna be a good one.
This suggestion comes to us not from a listener or anything, but rather a drunk Japanese man I was talking to on Wednesday night. Upon finding out I liked One Piece, he immediately was like, alright, what made you cried the most? And I had an immediate answer, and I was just like, well, shit. So, here we are now.
Yeah, goddamn. Well, fuck it. Let's just start with the answer you gave him, because that one's as good a place to start as any.
So, without even, hesitate. Mind you, my boss was, right next to me, too. This was quite a situation. But,
yeah.
We were just at the station. He asked me this. And immediately, no fucking hesitation, I said, the moment the Going Merry shows up at Ines Lobby.
Oh, damn.
Because the Buster Call is going on. This, heaven and hell break loose in Ines Lobby. Everybody's dying. Rob Lucci, man, I remember thinking Rob Lucci just fucking died there.
You broke, yeah, because Luffy won, and everyone was like, Luffy got the W, and then Luffy is outside on the floor, unable to move, and then it's just oh yeah, the Buster Call, fuck.
Yeah, he's just
we're actually all dead.
Exactly, Luffy's down for the count essentially, and everyone's freaking out, and they're like, what do we do? Because they're just. Everyone else is on a bridge leading to more Marines. And then Luffy is in a tower, being held up by two toothpicks. And everyone's like, yo, what the fuck? And then Usopp, hears some shit, and it's not clear what. And in the midst of all of this, he's just like, guys, we gotta jump. And everyone's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you crazy piece of shit.
He tells Robin to drag Luffy's body and just dump it off into the ocean. Everyone's like, what? But it happens, and they all jump down, and that's the end of the chapter. This is chapter 428, titled Let's Return. The start of the next chapter, they land on the Going Merry. The Going Merry came back for them. The whole spirit that inhabited the Going Merry, it was Klombau something men, very complicated Germanic word, came.
Yeah, but it's the soul of the ship, basically. Yeah,
came all the way to get them out of it. And after all that, to put the Going Merry to death, burn her alive, I mean,
the Viking funeral.
Yeah, the Viking funeral, exactly. That just I was dying the entire time I read that. It was 2 a.m. the first time I read that or some shit.
Yeah, dude. The part where the Mary's talking to all of them, basically thank you for the memories. That shit hit so hard because when you've read it all up until that point, you remember in this very instant, as soon as the Mary's talking, fuck, the Mary has been with us the whole fucking time. like through everything, through every single thing that we've been through, the Mary was there, and it's like shit. Like goddamn.
It's so much, man. Like, it's definitely for me one of my top 3 personally.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Cause goddamn, you give me something now. Now that I have inhabited this drunk Japanese man at like 10 at night asking you this, what is your answer? Like, first thought.
Man. First thought is for me the obvious one. Ace and Whitebeard. I want to kind of like combine theirs because they happen so close to each other, and they were both just like fuck.
So close to each other is such an understatement, in that Ace Dies chapter 574, literally titled Portgas D Ace Dies.
Nice.
And then chapter 576 is titled The Great Pirate Edward Newgate.
Damn. Yeah, these God, both of these deaths were like crazy. I would argue at the time Ace's death hit me harder for sure. But that's only because we didn't really we had only gotten to know Whitebeard so like late into the story.
I see.
Like we met him when he was already on his deathbed, but like it's not to say that, not to like negate his death, because it did, after you've seen all the flashbacks with him, it's like, you know,
he was such a good dad.
Yeah, when he's on his pirate crew and the guy's like, oh, like, what do you want to do? Like, don't you want to be Pirate King? He's like, no. He's like, the real treasure isn't One Piece. Like, the real treasure is having a family. Like, that's the real treasure. And I was like, fuck. And then like everything that happened with his crew. Dad. Yeah, best anime dad free. Everything that happened with his crew and like the respect that all the crew had for him and each other, like, man, to see him go down like that. And then we talked about it earlier, but to see him go down the way he did, like, dude, he put up a fight, but he got fucked up. And then, you know,
I don't remember the numbers exactly, but he had, because in the chapter it details very specifically how many swords he had still in him, how many cannon shots he took, how many normal shots he took, and like it was just completely outstanding. And then to like sum it all up with the fact that he died standing up. God,
the fact that he died standing up, and he died proclaiming that like the One Piece is real, and then his like final like pointing the finger call out to Blackbeard, it reminded me of the video of the guy that gets tased and he points his finger at the person off camera and he's like, you're next, and then he goes down. That was Whitebeard. He just pointed at Blackbeard and he's like fuck you, you're not the one that Roger was waiting for, bitch. He dies.
It's just so good. And then all of the hits that he received the entire time,
yeah,
none of them scratched his back.
Yeah,
where his tattoo, his Jolly Roger is, and that is, Whitebeard, yeah, Edward Newgate, the baller.
Edward Newgate, the ultimate boss, dude. It was so crazy. And then like fucking Ace's death, which happened before his, like, Ace's death was fucking, you know, sadish. Ace's death was literally the turning point for like the entire series. But like, man, like, I just thinking back to like Whitebeard's reaction to Ace's death is like, I think the greatest depiction of like what a dad would go through in that situation, because he literally just fucking, he gets on Akainu and he just starts fucking going nuts with the Guru no Mi. Like,
dude, like,
he's like, bro, I'm gonna fucking vibrate your brain out of existence, you bitch.
He went fucking primal, dude, and I enjoyed it.
I respect it, but man, yeah, Ace's death too. during the whole Marineford arc, man, like Ace, like when Ace died protecting Luffy, like when he got punched through the chest, I was like, fuck, like no, like come on, bro, please live, Pell lived, come on, please. But like, man, the speech he gave afterwards that to Luffy and everybody is what fucking killed me forever. Like when that happened, I was like big ass sobbing tears, dude. He's just giving his speech and he's just like, oh, like basically to sum it all up, he's just like, oh, like thank you guys for loving a fuck up like me. And he's just crying and like apologizing to everybody, and he's like, oh, like I'm like fuck, like, you know, apologizing for like his cursed bloodline. He's like, I never wanted to be like, I didn't want to have this devil's blood inside me, like I'm sorry, like I'm so glad you guys could love a fuck up like me. And I'm like, god damn it.
It's so fucked, man. So fucked.
It's bad, man. I would say change the subject and hit me with another one, but like it's just gonna get worse.
It really is. So yeah, my next one is nobody died. At least there's that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So from chapter 398, Declaration of War, my next moment is one of Robin's most famous lines, where she shouts out to the rest of the Straw Hats standing atop the building that she wants to live, that she wants to sail the rest of the sea with them. And that fucked me up so much. Because, like, I didn't really have any opinions on Robin before, but immediately prior to this, we learned everything that happened to her in Ohara and everything, and why she's been so extremely distant to absolutely everybody.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. And even the flashback kind of explains, like, because at the end of Alabasta, when we see her like reading the poneglyph and then like her interactions with Cobra, you're just like, wait a minute, like something ain't right here, like this is kind of weird for the enemy to be acting this way. And then like after her flashback, when you learn everything, you're just like, oh god, no, please. Please, Oda, please.
Oda really fucked us so hard with this. And like, but like it was such a happy moment in that like Luffy like really emotionally like strong-armed her in that position. And after hearing that, he's just like, all right, I guess this is war, and points at the world government and everything, and fucking
declares war on the world government.
Usopp just shoots it and it burns the flag down. Like, it's so crazy to think that, like, you know, what a fucking baller. Luffy declared war against the entire fucking world for his friend.
Yeah. Luffy's a boss, bro.
And not to mention that after that, like, Robin's being like dragged away, and she just like she bites at the fucking like where she was standing on. She like bites at something to like try to like not
like the railing,
yeah, to not get dragged away and shit. But like, man,
yeah, dude,
I love Robin. Protect her.
Yeah, that was the moment that it was like, like we must protect Robin at all costs.
100%.
Because her flashback is so, I mean, the flashback itself is horribly sad, but in like a good way. Like watching Ohara just get like dismantled by the Marines is like sad enough, and then freaking Saul's death, bro.
Dude, he didn't deserve to
Jaguar
die.
D. Saul, like, god damn it. God damn it, god damn it, god damn it. Jaguar D. Saul. I just fucking remembered Jaguar D. Saul.
Yup.
Bro, he's the one who taught, like, oh my god, he's the one who taught Robin to, like, laugh. And he's the one that was, like, giving the speech to Robin as he's getting fucking frozen to death.
It's so crazy. Like, the whole O'Hara flashback also, like, essentially is at this point a fucking honorable mention.
Yeah.
Because damn.
It's kind of, they go hand in hand pretty much, like.
Ugh. Give me another one. Let's keep this pain train rolling.
Let's keep the pain train going. I'm gonna bring one up. I have, like, more to say on it as it pertains to, like, the recent events in the manga, I guess.
Okay.
So Otohime's death, and then I'm also, like, pushing in there Fisher Price's death.
I'm so sorry for that, but
yeah. As soon as you said Fisher Price, I was like, you know what? Yeah. Fisher D. Price.
I never remembered his name. Cause, like, remembering Fishman Island can be difficult at times.
Yeah.
But, like, anyways, so he dies chapter 623, titled Pirate Fisher Tiger.
Yeah. His death was one that was, I mean, all of their deaths were, Otohime's death specifically was racially motivated. And I would argue Fisher Tigers too, but Fisher Tigers had more of it just had a really, like, sad, like, just really sad tone to it, because he's on his deathbed surrounded by the Sun Pirates that he's, been with for a long ass time. And they were like, because originally, like, he tells them the truth about Fisher Tiger, and the truth was that he was a slave. Like, before all of this, like, he was a slave too. And everybody thought that he was just, like, this hero, like, oh my god, like, he's just this hero fishman that, like, the first time he went into the New World, he broke into Marijois and, like, busted out the fisherman slaves, and then, like, erased their brandings, because he's like, yeah, like, fuck that, you're not a slave anymore. And I mean, not to negate all that, he did do that, but he just tells all the fishermen who, like, all of the Sun Pirates who are under him that, like, I was a slave. Like, I went to the New World to see, like, the world above the ocean. Like, I wanted to see the beauty, and literally all I got was this disgusting, like, racism thrown in my face, basically. Like, they enslaved him, and they just treated him like shit, and it's like he finally escaped, but it was a sort of thing where he told them in order to tell, like, he told them that he was a slave in order to let them know, like, don't be like them, like, don't give in to your hatred, and, like, if you give in to your hatred, you're no better than the celestial dragons. And he even mentions when he's dying, he's like, like, not all humans are bad. He's like, the future is, like, filled with children who don't know about prejudice yet. And that's why he specifically warned all of the fisherman pirates. He's like, don't tell anybody about this. Like, you have to leave everybody, like, you have to basically don't influence any of the fishermen's opinions, because them knowing this will just be, like, even more reason to fuel their hatred.
It's so influential right now.
Yeah.
Because, like, with Reverie going on, it really puts a lot of things into perspective. And it really goes to show that, like, what affected him emotionally, like, that journey he went through, is something that almost every fishman has to go through individually at this point.
Yeah.
Because, like, Otohime went through that, but right now King Neptune and maybe his children even are going through that. Shirahoshi as well, she saw a little bit that like, oh, humans can be good, but she's meeting more people, and all of that is really changing a bunch of stuff in how they feel.
It's one of those things like I mean, even Otohime's death, her death carried similar sort of undertones as Fisher Tiger's. Hers was like, oh, like you can't, like you have to look for the good in all people. Like you can't just give into your hate and prejudice, because then nothing will change. And hers was sort of like, oh, like the like, even if I died from this, like, still keep trying to get the signatures. Like you have to, like, the signatures are what's most important. You have to get us to the surface world, because like all of our people deserve to live up there, and we can live as one, like, one people, fishmen and humans. And it's just, both of their deaths are kind of, the ideas about what they said kind of pop up again, I felt, with what Neptune just went through. Like, Neptune heard Otohime Neptune heard Otohime like doing like what she said in her final moments, and then like
essentially
Neptune was also aware. Oh, what happened?
Like her memory coming up was essentially begging him to like stop what he was doing and take it back a bit.
Yeah, and even, he was also aware of the truth about what happened to Fisher Tiger, because Jinbei wrote a letter when he left to become a Shishibukai to Neptune and Otohime, and it told them like the truth about Fisher Tiger, because he felt that they needed to know.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of wild, like that death, or those two deaths, kind of, like you said, they came back with Neptune, like the sort of visage that he saw of Otohime, and like all the kindness in her heart and all the things she said, was just kind of like, he just like gave into his prejudice. Like he reverted back basically, because he was like, fuck, like Otohime, like, I'm sorry, I wanted to believe that you were right, and that Fisher Tiger was right. Like maybe I was wrong, but it turns out I'm not wrong, and humans are horrible, so fuck this. And it's the entire time he's thinking, dude, that, just tears.
It was
yeah.
Fuck, man.
Yeah, that was a death that these two deaths, Fishman Island is good. Pacing might suck, but it's good.
Can we talk real quick about how much better, like, an analogy of like racism and like not necessarily like entirely like pacifistic retaliation or anything, but more just like idealistic, like this message is coming from a like random Japanese man. How much better this is than Detroit Become Human,
I knew
published by a fucking creepy ass white French man. He's probably sitting like, is he Quebecois? I don't fucking know. He's from France. Whatever. I do not know of the Harriet Tubman. Martin.
Dude,
Martin Lusa King.
Okay. All I know is in the Super Best Friends playthrough, they got to a point where this black character was like, our people were slaves once, and we had to fight for what we thought was right. I was like, no, you can't do this like that. You can't.
The fact
David Cage needs to be stopped. That's all I will say.
Like, man, the fact that Oda, a random Japanese man, and mind you, like,
created King Tacos.
American segregation literally gets like 2 weeks of like education time here, and that's about it. And it's literally just like, hey, do you know who Martin Luther King is? No, you do now. That's it. He said one thing. That's it. And like, this man with that kind of education got more like to the like.
He got it.
He got it.
He understood.
He got it. when David Cage, this isn't a David Cage podcast. This this is an anti-David Cage podcast is the only thing I want to get out there.
Welcome to Indigo Prophecy, our David Cage fan cast.
No, what's the opposite of a fan cast, John? Tell me that.
I don't know, man.
Hate cast.
Hate, yeah, welcome to our David Cage hate cast.
Oh god. So yeah, I'll keep going.
Jesus, yeah.
Thankfully, my next one does not include racism, thinly or thickly veiled.
Nice.
Oh well, that's a lie. Actually, now that I thought about
the
it.
Immediate. Well, hold on.
Now that I thought about it, this is a real early one, coming from chapter 81, titled Tears. This takes place during the Arlong Park arc, which is why I retracted my statement immediately.
Yeah.
And the entire time before this, like, Nami was really, like, quote unquote, like, sold out Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji and shit like that. Like, sold them out. And at this point, Arlong was, like, retaliating against Nami and just like, ha, bitch, you thought you were done? Fuck no. And Nami was, like, struggling with the entirety of this. The entire island is, like, succumbing to Arlong and his expansion and his, essentially, slavery of these humans. And this...
It's just, man.
Nami is on the road, doesn't know what to do. She's, like, grasping at her tattoo, and she's just, like, she's pissed. She has no idea. She stabs her tattoo, like, off, essentially. And
yeah. Cause she's just going nuts about, like, Arlong. Like, she can't stand anything that reminds her of him.
And she, like, tries to keep going at it and everything. And
yeah,
that's the point where Luffy stops her. And she says to Luffy, help me.
Oh, God.
And Luffy, no words, no nothing. Luffy takes his hat off and places it on Nami. And Nami's surprised, and she just starts bawling even more.
Yeah, because she gets a flashback where she remembers, like, literally, like, the arc previous. Like, Luffy was, like, got pissed at somebody for touching his hat. He's like, don't you ever fucking touch my treasure.
And he takes Zoro and Sanji, and he just walks straight in through the fucking gates of Arlong Park.
The walk to Arlong Park.
Where he goes and just kicks Arlong's teeth in, literally.
Yeah. God, yeah, this whole moment is so... I mean, because because, like, the Nami flashback is what gives it, like, the emotional hit.
Dude.
Because, like, Arlong literally comes to the island and he's like, oh, yeah, I'm racist. Humans suck. So you're all gonna pay me, like,
$1 billion
per person.
Yeah.
And then, like, every child is $500 million. And he's like, so $1 billion per adult, $500 million per child. And he's like, and if you don't pay it, we're gonna kill you. And then you're just like, you know, that's it. And everybody who paid is just gonna work for us, basically. And Nami's adoptive mother, Belmare, like, only has enough money for 1 adult life or 2 children's lives. So she pays for Nami and her sister. And, man, like, fuck, dude. Arlong kills her right in front of Nami and them. And then
that was so
Nami,
fucked.
it's so fucked, and then Nami internalizes it. Like, she goes to get revenge on Arlong. Like, I think she, like, tries to kill him or something.
Several times.
And then Arlong's like, Arlong's like, oh, like, I like your style. And he's like, listen, like, how about you work for me and you draw maps for me? And, like, you're free to go wherever, you're free to leave the island and do whatever you want because you'll be basically one of my pirates. and if you make enough money, if you make this much money, you can free the island. Like if you make, you know, a billion jillion money, you can free the island. And she literally like she takes all of that onto herself. Like she gets branded by Arlong's like tattoo, and then the entire town is like, Nami, like what the fuck? And then she's like, no, it's fine. Like they all like hate her for like betraying. They're like, what the fuck? Like, why are you going to Arlong? She's like, no, it's fine. You guys are just overreacting. And really, she's like out there stealing every scrap of money she can because she's like, no, like I have to make this money to free them. And yeah, the culmination when she starts crying is when Arlong, like, basically he knows where the money is hidden, so he tells the Marines and the Marines take it, and then she's like, Arlong, what the fuck? Like, we had a deal. And he's like, I didn't do nothing, but look, you can just make another bajillion dollars. And he just laughs at her face, and it's like, oh.
It was so cruel, man. Like, Arlong was really the first example of Oda being like, hey, I know how to really write villains. All right?
Yeah.
Trust me.
Oda's woke, dude.
Dude, I really wish...
Yeah, that was the first.
I really wish Belmare was, like, still alive, growing oranges and shit. She didn't deserve that, man.
Yeah.
She was a Marine. She was a cop. Man. But...
Yeah, she was one of the few good cops.
Man. So fucked.
Yeah, it's so fucked. And it's... The scene... This moment was just so... It's such a good moment for the series. Because, I mean, we said it in our episode where we talked about, like, our top favorite arcs. But this moment in the series was really the moment where it's like, all right, like, this is what the story is going to be from now on. Like, this, you know, this is... Like, Oda wasn't playing...
It defines the whole, like, emotional journey that happens throughout One Piece. It really, like, gives you thematically, like, this story is about hardships, but it's also about friendships and people supporting other people going through strife.
Yeah.
And god damn, Oda is so good. Are we biased? Hell yeah, but fuck.
Yeah. Are we biased? Yes, but rightfully so. He does an amazing job. Fuck, man. I'm gonna rewatch that later.
Episodes of East Blue, baby.
Yeah, basically. I'm gonna kick it off into the next one, because I thought of this one, like, right before we started recording. Like, it was pretty last minute when I remembered it.
Yeah.
But Chopper... So on Vegapunk, on Punk Hazard, Chopper, like, witnessing the children, like, relapsing back into, like, drug abuse, basically.
Man, Chopper really has, like, an underrated set of moments, because he gets really fucking emotional.
Yeah, I will say this like, Punk Hazard, people, you know, you can feel however you want about Punk Hazard, but it had really good moments for a lot of the main characters. And, like, Chopper was definitely one of them. Like, Chopper just... Oh, man. like, when they first find the kids, he's the first one. Him and Nami are the first ones that are like, this is kind of messed up that children are in this fucking laboratory. Like, we have to save them. And then, like, Oda slowly starts dropping hints like, oh, like, we gotta cut through the biscuit room. And you're like, well, what the fuck is the biscuit room, Oda? And then he's like, oh, not yet. And then we're like, okay, Oda, that's all right. And then he's like, oh, the kids are big for some reason. They keep talking about candies. Like, what's that about? And Oda's like, no, not yet. And then when Oda finally reveals his hand, he's like, surprise, fuckers, they're all addicted to drugs and they're gonna kill each other. And it's like, whoa!
It was so fucking, like, it was such a hard right turn, because it smacked me in the face. I had no idea how to deal with this. Like...
Yeah, especially because, like, it's fucking children, like, that were like experiments, like, for Caesar. And it's like, dude, what the fuck? And the the scene where God, I forget the child's name, but the child's like hunched over, like, in pain, and it finds like the kid finds like a piece of the candy, like the tiniest piece, and it's like, oh, like, the candy always makes me feel better. If I only have a piece, then I'll feel happy again. And it's when Chopper is in Sanji's body, and let me tell you, like, the way Oda drew Sanji's, like, Chopper's reaction is goddamn, like gut wrenching, dude.
It was,
because you can tell the he perfectly embodies, like, the mix of emotions that you're supposed to feel, like, because you like, obviously Chopper is, like, sad for the kids, but he's also
horrified, pissed,
yeah,
like, confused. Like, you bringing this up is kind of, like, funny to me in that, do you remember when everyone was like, oh, who's, like, the next Straw Hat? Like, oh, it's going to be an old enemy. And we're like, us and several people considered Caesar Clown, like,
yeah,
completely, like, disregarding the fact of, like, the heinous war crimes he's committed.
It's because we saw Caesar, like, in Dressrosa a bit, and then we saw him in, like, Zoe and Whole Cake, like, goofing around, just being a goofy guy, you know, Gastino, and we're like, yeah, fuck with Gastino, I like that.
See,
and then I remember back to this, and I'm like, oh no, he's a dick. Oh no, he needs to die.
See, Gastino has committed no sins. Caesar Clown has committed all the sins possible. He has an achievement for it on Xbox.
That's true. Yeah, Gastino is sinless. Damn. Yeah, this moment was just really. This was one of the more gut wrenching ones post time skip, because you're just like, oh shit, because, like, you know, it just makes you really uncomfortable, and you can really empathize with Chopper, because you're like, well, now I want to kill Caesar Clown. Like, where is he? Where's the rat bastard? I don't know. This one was a good one. It got me. 10 out of 10.
It's time for the last one now, I guess. We were talking about, like, a more recent one to cover, and I was very biased in what I brought up, in that I was like, oh, like, all the stuff with Pudding was, like, very sad, with, like, the whole, like, her kissing Sanji and taking the memory, and then just, like, crying in a fucking alleyway.
No.
Like, honorable mention, Pudding deserved nothing that happened to her.
Yeah, we could just tie. I'm completely cool with tying anything of Pudding's in with this one, because
see, let's do this. Yeah. Let's do this. Our last one, for the most recent thing that made us cry, the entire fucking Whole Cake Island arc, the entirety of it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because, like, I felt emotional with what happened to the witch. I already forgot her name.
Oh my god, Brûlé.
With Brûlé, dude, like, at the end, with
I didn't have any want or need to connect to Brûlé on an emotional level and feel anything for her, because I thought that's not where her character was going. And when she's on the ground with the scar, like, bleeding, and she's, like, crying, but she's, like, telling Katakuri, like, oh, it's okay, big brother, like, it's not your fault. I'm like, oh fuck. I never asked for this.
And then another one with fucking Lola, like the whole Lola thing affecting.
Oh my god, yeah. No, come on, don't forget. I know this one.
How could we do this?
How could we do this? It was CH something with the CH.
Chiffon.
Chiffon.
Chiffon, yeah, like Chiffon having to live in the shadow of Lola and everything that Lola did and how Mom reacted to that, and just estranging Chiffon and just like all of that.
Being the target of Big Mom's abuse, like basically.
All of that was like so massively fucked.
Oh my god, you said Chiffon. Bro. Fucking Pound's death.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say the thing with him.
What's the thing?
Pound D pussy.
Oh yeah. Pound D pussy, yeah. Dude, Pound's death. Pound's death is in the same vein as Don Quixote Rocinante's death. Fucking Doflamingo's brother. I didn't ask to feel anything for this character. And in one fucking chapter, Oda made me like care and cry for this character, because man, Pound's death was one that got me. He's just like, he never got to meet any of his daughters, and he finally meets Chiffon, and she doesn't know who he is, and like he sees the little baby.
Ooh.
And the baby like recognizes him, like I guess knows intuitively that like it's, family.
Right.
And the baby's like, oh, like reaching out. And then Pound just fucking stands there as they're escaping, fixes his tie, and he just says like, I'm sorry I couldn't be there for any of the moments in your life. Like, I'm sorry I couldn't protect you, but congratulations on your wedding. And it says, congratulations on your wedding, right as Oven is about to slash his fucking neck open.
Dude,
bro, fuck what anyone says. Pound D pussy, Pound D something. He had the will of D, bro. He died smiling. There's no way. Come on.
Dude, yes, Pound D, and let's leave it at that.
Pound D.
And to continue with the emotional baggage that was the entire Whole Cake Island arc, fucking Sanji's backstory being revealed for the first time.
All of it
was just fuck Judge.
Fuck Judge. Yeah, hashtag fuck Judge. The stuff with Sanji's mom fucking murdered me in the heart. So when they revealed Sanji's backstory and like they showed the mom, and then even I was reading one of the chapters before we started to try to see other stuff, when Reiju is talking to Sanji after Pudding wipes her memories, she starts talking to Sanji like, oh, like you have to let us die, basically, like the German need to die. And then he's like holding on because he's like, no, like you deserve to live out of all of them, like you're the one. And he's like, and she's like, no, like I've done bad stuff. And she's like, you're the one true, like you're the one person that like mom would have wanted. And it cuts to a flashback of Reiju visiting the mom in the hospital. Like it shows like every day Reiju visited, and then the mom, she was like, oh, like you're all mom would ever talk about. And then their mom is like, oh, like you'll never guess what Sanji told me today, or oh, guess what Sanji brought to me. And it's like, oh man, like
it was like so much pain. Like the poor kid had an iron mask. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, and man, Judge like imprisoning him because like in that same flashback, like Reiju's like, oh, like when mom died, like he kind of, you reminded him so much of her that like he took out all of his like anger on you, basically. And it's like, fuck.
Man, it's so.
And then when he breaks out, like he
Reiju
escapes
breaks his cuffs.
Yeah, Reiju breaks his cuffs, and then like Reiju breaks his cuffs, and then the first person he runs into to grab the keys for the iron mask is Judge. And Judge like throws the keys at him, and he's like, oh good, like take it off and get out of here, like you're worthless, I don't want to see you, like you're basically no son of mine, like get out. and Sanji's bawling his eyes out. And then when Reiju like helps him to escape, her whole speech and her crying, like, oh, it reminded me a lot of Saul's speech, but it was just like, it was just worse because you could tell that Reiju felt so bad because she was a part of it, like.
Yeah.
Because she was like, no, like, you have to go. Like, you have to run. Like, you have to forget about us, and you'll find a family that loves you for the way you deserve to be loved. And I'm like, oh, God, please no.
All of Whole Cake Island was not okay. Just not okay. And I would like to say that that's where we're ending at. But, John, you have one more very special, maybe our number one moment where we cried. Absolute saddest moment.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this one was...
Real early.
Oh, this one was real early, but it probably had the most impact on the story going forward. Like, this one was... When we looked at it, oh yeah, okay, the main ones you think of are like Robin and Ace. But when you really think about it, this is the one that started it all, man. This is the one that ended everything. It's fucking Kuina's death by the stairs in Zoro's flashback. That's gonna do it for us this week, folks. Don't forget to follow us on social media. We got Twitter at ParameciaCast. We got Facebook at Paramecia Fancast. We got parameciafancast.libsyn.com. Episodes will go up every week. Within a couple hours after the Libsyn upload, they'll go up on YouTube. YouTube.com. Search up Paramecia Fancast. We've done our branding right. We're the only one that shows up. Yeah, that's gonna do it for us this week. Next week,
I've had a fucking chance on this podcast because like it doesn't come up often. But can we just go out there and say, because we all know that Tashiki's the fucking girl.
Yeah,
we all know
there's
that.
No way, bro. Come on, Oda.
It's some shit where like I don't know, like it was an open casket or so. I don't fucking. That was like chapter 5.
I didn't see a body.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't see a body. It's Tashigi. It's
Tashigi.
You remember those fucking Fushigi balls?
They're Fushigi. Look, they're both girls. They both like swords. And I mean that's about it. But they look exactly the same. They look
exactly the same. It wouldn't.
There's no way that we're gonna get to Wano and Smoker and Tashigi aren't going to show up, and then we're gonna get like, oh, like her family's actually from Wano.
Because like dumb. She has to be there for many reasons. One, she's like, she's essentially just like the reader thinks like, oh, is that sword a named sword? And immediately the next panel after, and it's like, that's this named sword with like these properties. Oh my goodness. Like she's that character, the encyclopedia for the reader. So like, she's got to be there.
Yeah, it's, oh man. Man, I don't know. All right. Yeah,
we'll fucking see y'all next week. Chapter 909.
Yeah, we'll see y'all. Yeah, I'm ready. It was a good break, but I'm ready to get my mind fucking torn apart during 909. Have a good week, everybody.
Bye.